Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a weekly dose of travel content. Postcards and Beyond began as a reservoir of memories, memories of great destinations, holidays in the past, and looking eagerly onto the future. We are back with a brand new seasons of Postcards and Beyond, and this time it's time to travel. It's my pleasure to welcome our guest for this week, Mr. Oliver Dolby. Hi, Oliver. Welcome to Postcards and Beyond. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. So yes, I'm Oliver, and I do energetic healing work. That's what I do as a profession. But a part of me really loves to travel, and it's been very tough recently. But it's a very part of what I do is all about travel. I've been very fortunate in my life to have traveled to many different countries from a very early age, and it's like a part of you that just sort of never dies. It always wants to be activated.
Excellent. Travel is, you want to be out and about and just venture the world, don't you? So brilliant, Oliver. I'm going to get straight to it. What are your top 3 holiday destinations so far, and what is your main memory from them?
Well, it was quite a difficult one when I thought about it earlier. You know, what are my top 3 destinations? It's got to be more than 3, but I've chosen 3. And the first one that springs to mind was Thailand. And that was back in around 2000.
Wow.
Because I'm quite adventurous, that was actually a climbing trip. And I went rock climbing down in Thailand. I took a client of mine there, and we had an absolutely amazing 2 weeks just climbing on the sea cliffs, a place called Krabi, a little Pranang Peninsula. And it was absolutely magnificent. It really was a highlight of being a bit younger and a lot more carefree back in those days as well. You know, back in 2000 thereabouts. Another place that really sprung to mind was the Mediterranean. I love the Mediterranean Sea. I love being on the coast. I love the sea. And the place that really stuck to me was Genoa in Italy. Yeah. I actually spent probably a month just being in that city, but getting to know the city, getting to know the people there, but also exploring around. And the highlight there for me was the Cinque Terre. The three little towns, and be able to walk between the 2 of them, little villages on the seashore, and the incredible views, the incredible vistas, the magnificent food, the freshness, the friendliness of people, absolutely sublime, and just being physically active as well was also good. And the third one, I had to think quite hard about the third one, and for me, that was Grand Cayman in the Caribbean. Grand Cayman. The flattest island you can possibly imagine. And of course, my background is rock climbing. So I was like, whoa, this is a bit strange. But when I was there, I realized that you've got the underwater, and being able to dive in this amazing crystal clear Caribbean water. It's a good warm temperature, and the scenery underwater is absolutely fantastic. So being able to dive with hammerhead sharks, dive on Bloody Bay Wall was absolutely incredible. Some of my fondest experiences of being underwater and exploring the underwater world, as well as just the relaxed atmosphere there, the laid back attitude which was there. So those, I think those are the top 3.
Wow. So you've done climbing, you've done walking, food, and the water diving.
Yes, yeah.
Very different holidays. Wow, excellent. That's a really good list. So what are the main things you look out for when you're planning a holiday?
The main things, I think you could probably guess based on what I've just said, is going to be, adventure, a bit of fun, bit of adventure. I have realized that as I've got older, I'm also looking for a little bit of relaxation as well. So as much as I like the adventure, like the excitement, there's also part of me that now wants to spend quality time with my family. You know, I've got a young daughter, and of course it's about spending time with her, but also slowly introducing her to the adventurous activities and the sides of things that you can do. And holidays and getting away is the best time to do that, because you have the sort of freedom without the restrictions back at home where you're too far away from good walks, climbing, Certainly I wouldn't dream of going diving in the UK because the water is just too cold.
Cold, yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, no, but it's good. It's good to give them the experience of best of both, isn't it? A little bit of adventure and a little bit of relaxation. So that's really nice. So according to you, which areas of travel planning prove to be either most time consuming or inconvenient, even in the age of the internet?
Well, I think right now the biggest thing for all of us is this lack of being able to just get up and go. There's too many restrictions that are just changing constantly. You know, it's just so difficult to understand where you stand, where you can and can't go to. You can go, then you can't go the next week. So I
Yeah,
wish the government would just sort of stop this nonsense and just get us into a sort of a state of yes or no, you can or you can't go, so we can just plan. Uh,
that's
and that
it.
spontaneity, that excitement of just saying, hey, I've got a few days off, let's just go somewhere.
Yeah,
Can't do that anymore. You know, you've got to plan, you've got to prove, you've got to do all sorts of tests and restrictions. For them, that's really tough. That's really the toughest part right now. And
yeah.
trying to understand it as well, because I've read some of the websites. You don't know whether you can or you can't. It's very confusing. And I'm guessing that's where your expertise would play into it.
Yeah, yeah, it is. You're so right because there's so many channels which give you very different information, and you don't know. Like you might have read something today, and it'll be completely different tomorrow.
Mm.
So yeah, it's. I wish, like you said, it would be just either a yes or a no. That's it. And there's no other bits and pieces attached to it.
And
So
then don't change it 3 months down the line. You know, when you're actually about to go, then you
that's
can't
it.
go. You know.
It's become like you really cannot plan ahead anymore.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just take it as it comes. If like you want to plan something for August next year, you don't know if it's going to happen or not. So yeah, you have to keep an eye out on the government rules and regulations every day until it's time for you to travel somewhere. But yeah, I understand what you said. So if there was one thing you'd like the travel industry to take into account from a consumer's perspective, what would it be and why? I know you said from the government side, but what about the travel industry side?
I think the travel agents industry has really got a lot clearer over time. It really is improving, and you've got a lot more experts in their field who are able to guide you through the sort of minefield of, well, internet booking, for instance, is can be quite a minefield. And when you can find someone who you can trust to give you an honest feedback and to say, well, actually, the trip you booked is actually going to not really suit you at all. That's where you need the expert. And so I'm so pleased that I've met so many experts in this field who have an understanding, who are able to, especially for newer travelers, I think they need to be guided into a place where they know they can get what they're looking for. For me, I don't really mind. I mean, I hop on a plane, and if it's all disaster, it's okay. I'll come back and go, well, I won't go there again.
Yeah,
But you know what, you make the most of what you do, and I'm very much one of those people that likes to just get up and go.
yeah,
I don't necessarily plan that much. So planning is an area that I don't do that much of. And of course, that's where the likes of yourself, Bhavni, are so good, because you do that planning and take that out of my hands. And so that for me, that is important, to have someone to do the overall plan. And of course, time these days is so precious. It's
that's
so precious. You
yeah,
know, the days are going back so fast. You can spend a week researching a trip online, and then you're not even going to go on it. You know, it's just one of those things. So
yeah.
so stop changing the rules, trust the expert, and allow them to make decisions for you. Sometimes that's the best way.
Yeah, like I say, we do what the internet doesn't. We listen to you, we speak to you, and we plan for you. Internet doesn't do that. He'll
No.
give you a itinerary set up. You'll get this. Whatever you search for is the information you'll get. You won't get anything more or less than what you want. So yeah, that's why we say talk to us and let us plan the trip for you. If it works out for you, well and good. If it doesn't, we can revisit it.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, so that's really good. And last but obviously not the least, what comes to mind when I say venture beyond?
Well, venture is a word that I absolutely love. Okay. I don't know if you know this about me, but my first business was called Venture Forth. And it was all about venturing out into the outdoors and into the mountains, where I was taking people climbing, mountain walking, and rock climbing, and that sort of stuff. And so for me, it always inspires that idea of a little bit about adventure. But the beyond part is a lovely part, because that is going beyond the expectation. So you know that when you travel with Bhavni and Venture Beyond, you're not just going to get the run-of-the-mill bus trip tour. Okay, you're going to get something more. You're going to get that piece of excitement. You're going to be amazed. You're going to have that bit of adventure, and it's going to take you beyond your wildest dreams. And having worked with you and knowing you, I know that you always over deliver on what you give. And so it's absolutely the perfect name, Venture Beyond. Absolutely love it.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. Also, ladies and gentlemen, one little thing I'm going to add to this. Oliver and Oliver's company's name is Soul Doctor, and Soul Doctor Venture Beyond are joining up, and they're going to bring something very exciting for 2022. So yeah, watch this space. We will come with all the news on what's going to happen in 2022. So we'd like you to join us. So yeah, that was very kind of you, Oliver.
It'll be a very exciting trip. Looking forward to 2022.
Definitely.
And,
I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. More information to come shortly. So that's nice. Thank you, Oliver, for being a part of Postcards and Beyond, Time to Travel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all next week with another exciting guest. Till then, take care and stay safe. And once again, Oliver, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.